Hello YouTube, this is Reaper Hunter making another Warframe video. Today I'm just gonna go over a quick basic my basic build, actually my better build. I'm a very frequent Warframe player. I said in an earlier video I might make a new account just to start fresh with you guys if I get more viewers and subscribers and commenters and all that. This is my main account, Reaper Hunter, if you hadn't already guessed. Here we are. You can't see it, but there's an R at the end of that. Reaper Hunter. I am rank 11, I believe. I've been playing this game since update 8.1, I believe, and yeah, fun game. But it has been through a lot. Anywho, back to this, down to business. So with this build, let's see, I'm gonna go with not you.
That one.
I also have a buddy of mine on Skype who is also, at times, my subconscious.
No, you don't.
He's very annoying. Anyways. So basic build, we're never going to like a Tower 4 defense or anything like that. Any kind of really hectic, crazy, probably going to die within seconds if you're not careful kind of mission. My usual best build that I never regret making is basically using my either my Excalibur Prime or my Loki Prime. Excalibur is just my favorite Warframe, so by default I use him most of the time. Now, with my build with the Paris Prime, since it's basically mostly puncture damage, it works really good against the really armored gunners, the armored Grineer run by, and the basic damage, most with the slash damage that comes involved, usually takes care of the crewmen, corrupted crewmen, and the, I forgot what they're called, but me and my friends call them chicken walkers. If you play this game, you know which ones I'm talking about. Basic mods I use for the Paris Prime is a max modded piercing hit, just one stabilizer to counteract with heavy caliber here. It'll basically help the arrows spread just a bit less. It helps. This is 2 Formud, by the way, so if you want to copy this build, please feel free to. But you're going to need 2 Formas, and as you can see, it's going to cost every single point of capacity. But anyway, max damage piercing hit, 1 upgrade stabilizer, max damage point strike for that critical damage, because the Paris Prime is really good with criticals. Vital sense for said critical damage, and a 2 shy of maxed serration. A lot of people say you should really max your serration, but from what I've played, this is really as far as you would honestly need it to be.
It's too hard.
And it costs probably 100 fusion cores, and I don't got that kind of time. Split chamber for split chamber reasons. Multi-shot, of course. Heavy caliber. Now this one's optional. You don't have to use it because it does make your arrows spread due to the split chamber really bad. So it basically makes your bow really good for short and medium range, but it might take a few shots to get those really precise long range shots. So I recommend it, but I don't enforce it for this build. And last but not least, a maxed out speed trigger, because if you have the Paris Prime, you know that its draw speed is pitiful. So that's that. I use the spare mostly because they're the only really good secondary I have. I mean, Akvasto are okay, and the Castanos are pretty good against Infested. And the Murloc, it does a lot of damage, but just to be honest, I don't really like the looks of it. It looks like a giant fat potato with a trigger. But, yeah, the spare are pretty good for most common uses. They do not compare to the Paris, in my opinion, of course. But they're good just to have as a secondary. If you get down, they'll usually take down whatever put you down. For mods, I use 2 shy, kind of like Serration. 2 shy maxed of Hornet Strike. Again, because I don't have 200 fusion cores to upgrade it maximum. 1 shy of Barrel Diffusion. Once you have that 100% multi-shot there, there's really no point in upgrading it any further. Some of you might tell me otherwise, but from my experience, there really is no difference if you max it. Lethal Torrent. Now I know this is a very rare mod, but you can get it from trading for probably around 12, 15 platinum if you find a really reasonable and nice person. Gunslinger for firing rate, because if you have Despair or Kunai, you know they don't throw that fast. Like, they throw moderately fast, but in a very intense situation, you're going to want to shoot them faster. So that's maxed. Puncture damage, because these are mostly base puncture damaged weapons. And, well, yeah, that'll increase your base damage. Slip Magazine. Now, Slip Magazine and Ice Storm, if you have it, are really going to help you with the magazine size, of course, because it'll take you from about, I think it's 8 shots maximum to 17. And, yeah, that alone helps you a lot. Now, Ice Storm will also give you a extra freeze damage. So if you put Pistol Pestilence on, max stat, you're going to have about, let's see, 400 viral damage. I hear monkeys. Okay, so that's Despair. Now, here's kind of my pride and joy here right now. The Dragon Nakana. Now, this weapon is only available if you're rank 8. So, if you're not rank 8, you're going to have to stick with a regular Nakana, but it's still a really good weapon. This Dragon Nakana's better. I believe it's still the current best melee weapon, but I could be wrong. I've actually taken a good break from this game, so things could have changed. Never know. Now, one thing that a lot of people are probably going to instantly judge me about with this is that I use almost little to no elemental mods, if you probably noticed with my Paris Prime. I don't know why, but I've always found it better not to use elemental mods, because then it doesn't specify. That's not a word.
It's a word.
Oh, it is?
No,
Well,
it's not.
Oh. I hate you so much. Basically, I don't know, it might just be my mindset, but I've always seen that, or saw that, if you just keep your weapon element neutral, it'll still be just as good against any other faction. I mean, some of them are kind of, you don't have a choice, like that poison, there's various poison daggers that you have to obviously have something that goes with poison damage, or toxic, or whatever you want to call it. But, like I said, I just never really found the whole gist of it. Not my thing, you know. Anyway, back to this with the Dragon Nakana. I used the stance mod Decisive Judgment. It's fairly easy to find. It's not that rare. You get it from what were they called? Solar Rails. I don't really participate in those that much, so I don't really know what they're called. I believe it's Solar Rails. Basically, you fight Tenno Spectres, and they usually drop this one rather frequently, so you won't have that hard time finding this. Now, this is a really good one compared to Tranquil Cleave, because it's really fast, and you can keep the combos going. I mean, nothing against Tranquil Cleave. It does really good puncture damage with a certain moveset it has, but Decisive Judgment always kind of kept the rhythm going, I guess you can say. So, I've been using it. It's pretty good. So that's the stance mod. For general mods, we have Killing Blow for channeling damage. Don't really think I need to explain why that one's there. Now here's really the really important one. Life Strike. Now, first rule of Life Strike, don't upgrade it. If you look at the stats, I'm hoping my graphics will be good enough for you to see that. You get 5% life steal, but you lose 35% channeling efficiency. I don't know what you're saying, that's not really a lot, why not upgrade it? Well, if you upgrade it, I believe you go up to either 7% or 10% life steal, and you lose 75% channeling efficiency. So, if you basically use it while you're channeling, you lose like 30 energy or something with each swing. And unless you're like an energy-filled Warframe like Loki, then you're going to run out of energy very fast. Next mod, Reflex Coil for channeling efficiency. It'll help you with a life strike. And this one's optional if you want. You don't have to. Again, with these weird Vault mods, I think they're called. It's really like one or the other kind of deal, I guess you can say. Because they both give you something, but take something else really important away. In this case, Spoiled Strike. He gives me plus 100% damage, but it takes away my attack speed. And for the Nikana and the Dragon Nikana, attack speed is very important, because this thing will swing very slow if you don't have some kind of speed mod. So I use it just because I have Fury, which is maxed, which is 30% attack speed. So do the math with these two, I'll have at least plus 10 speed, and I guess I've so far lived with it. I'm doing okay with it, so I guess it's not that bad in my opinion, of course. This one's rather rare, but it's unheard of. Jagged Edge. This is a sword that does mainly slash damage. It'll give you plus 90% slash damage maxed. So, it's always good to have. And, the usual pressure point. To be honest, I don't know what melee weapon in anyone's arsenal doesn't have this. It's the most common... what's it called? Sorry, my friend's messaging me. It's the most common stance or mod possibly in the entire game. I mean, if you look in your inventories, you get like 100 of them. A match, probably. I'm exaggerating, of course, but gee, I hate these things so much. But, yeah, put that there. I don't know why you wouldn't have that, but yeah, it's there. Here's a fancy one. Rendering Strike. Plus 60% slash damage and 80% puncture damage. 2 pluses. I like it. Keep it. If you have it, use it. Now, if you don't have some of these mods, I guess you should just use your elemental mods if you have them, because I know a lot of these are pretty rare, and I think a couple of these you only get from a certain event that passed by a long time ago. I'm not just talking for the sword, I'm talking about for all my weapons in general. But, the thing with the mod system that the developers really try to imply is that you gotta use your imagination. You gotta put what looks best, and for me this is the best. As you can see with this build, I have a conclave of 1,000, just 3 points under 1,500. Hard to argue with that. So with my Paris Prime, I can do 216 slash damage and 1,000, almost 1,300 puncture damage, plus 4 times multiplier criticals, 4.4 criticals, with a 112 chance, so it's almost a critical every shot. Despair, you got 512 puncture damage, plus 400 viral damage, so if the puncture damage doesn't kill him, the viral damage will eventually finish him off, and I think that's really good. And of course the Dragon Nikana, you got almost 600 slash damage. If you want to be specific, 578 slash damage. Plus 2 times critical multiplier. And if you're using Excalibur and you use your radial blind, that's going to give you almost 4 times damage if you hit them, because that gives like some kind of undetected slash bonus, as far as I heard.
It's called awesomeness.
Pretty much. And yeah, that's my basic build. I don't think I'll go into the companions since that's kind of your personal decision, but when it comes to loadouts, this is how I go. And I usually go every game without dying once. Maybe the occasional down, but I rarely ever die. So yeah, I hope this helps some of you. I'm not trying to replace Mugamu, but here's my 2 cents. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Bye!
Goodbye, conscience. See you guys.